This is the Morning Swim Show for Monday, May 9th, 2011. I'm your host, Peter Busch. In the Finish Monitor today, Swimming World's Jeff Cummings caught up with two of the men leading the charge for Olympic medals in Canada. CEO of Swimming Canada, Pierre LaFontaine. And first up, here's Jeff with Tom Johnson, one of the national team coaches.
I'm here with Tom Johnson, who is one of the national team coaches for the Canadian swim team. He's here in Phoenix. Tom, welcome to the Arizona sun.
Thank you. It's much appreciated and enjoyed. You don't get sun like this in Vancouver until July sometime. So,
so what's the goal for bringing the swimmers down here? We're about 3 months away from World Championships.
A lot of times we bring the team together in a fairly close proximity to the actual competition and have to go through a lot of the logistics and the sort of some of the team building activities that you invariably go through in a national team situation. And we always felt like if we could get this work done earlier, it would allow us to be a bit better focused when we actually get to the end game situation. So we're trying it this year, and if it works, we'll do it again next year leading into the Olympics.
Do you come down here and really do a lot of yardage, or is it mostly tinkering with things?
We're actually trying to be as true to our training programs back at home as possible, but notwithstanding that, there's an opportunity for the swimmers to get together and actually compete against each other in training, and we think that that can help us be a bit better when we get to Shanghai.
Now, a lot of people are coming here probably from different training backgrounds. Yeah. How do you kind of work with them to all make sure they're kind of meshing together?
Well, we've asked the coaches to give us their templates, and as much as possible we respect that, but at the same time we're not running 30 different programs, so we've divided it up into lead coaches and supporting coaches in the sprint, the middle distance, the distance area, and then breaststroke and IM together, right? So that seems to be working fairly well. It always takes a few days to get adjusted, but by and large I'd say it's working the way we want it.
Canada's been kind of on the rise since the Beijing Olympics. How do you think so far they're looking for World Championships?
Well, I think the Chinese and obviously the Americans are going to be great. A lot of the other countries have had mixed results, some very good swimming and some just okay swimming in their trials, and I would say we fit that mode, but we pre-selected our 3 or 4 athletes out of the Pan Pacs last year, and so they only needed to be ready enough to swim and test themselves at that point in the season. They weren't really putting much on the line, so we're cautiously optimistic that we'll be competitive, but it's going to be a tough meet.
And one of those swimmers is your personal swimmer you see day in and day out, Brent Hayden.
Yeah.
Now, he won the Commonwealth Games 47.8, very fantastic 100 free swim. How do you get him to maintain the momentum he got from that swim and carry it over to World Championships, where he'll be coming in as one of the favorites?
Well, I mean, he's been the world champion in 2007, so it's not new ground, and the Olympics didn't really go the way he wanted in 08, and he fought back in 09, and with the suit issues, and he didn't wear a suit in the 100 free and everybody else did, and so I think you saw maybe a bit more of what he's really capable of last year with the 47.9, but everybody's adjusted now to the not having the suits, and I think he's going to have to be thinking about being as good as he was with the suit, right, or with just the laser. And so the momentum factor is, anybody who's at the top of the world didn't get there just by happenstance, and so I think he's got his eyes set on doing really well at the meet, and he knows he's going to be in for a fight, and so there's a level of professionalism and focus that only comes once you get the maturity that you really need. And so he's 27 years old, and I think he's got much more of that in his daily life and in his approach to the sport. So hopefully it's game on, and we'll have fun when we get there.
What's it like to coach one of the fastest men in the world?
Some days it's great, and it's like anything. Other days it's got its challenges, but he's a great person and an individual, and so there's a very good collaboration and working relationship, and it's a lot of fun.
What are you looking forward to, mostly not just for Brent, but for the Canadian team as we get, we're about 15 months out for the Olympics? What do you think is going to be the biggest challenge that you guys need to work on in that time?
I think attention to detail and being able to handle the pressure of the moment, and we've shown some competency in that area over the last little while, and just keep building on that, right? And not get ahead of ourselves, but understand that assume nothing. Like the meet's going to be tough, and we're going to have to be at our best and purposeful in our effort and our training every day. Right? So.
Well, thanks a lot, Coach,
All right.
and we look forward to seeing how you guys do at World Championships. I'm sure it's going to be fantastic.
Okay, watch for the red and white.
The national team's down here preparing for World Championships. Pierre, welcome back to Arizona.
Oh, it's great to be in this pool. This has got to be one of the neatest environments in the world.
So just to kind of give you background, Pierre LaFontaine was the head coach of Phoenix Swim Club here. Tell me what it's like to kind of come back and see how this pool has evolved.
Well, you know, this pool is now 20 some odd years old, and you can still see the greatness in this facility. And I think it's getting a little tired, but I think it wouldn't take much to put it back together. And, you know, I think everybody that comes here goes, wow, this is an amazing place. I remember when I was here a few years back, I was trying to get the Canadian government to invest in this facility so that we could bring our national soccer team here, or bring the national team as camps all the time. So,
yeah. You think this might be something you do on a yearly basis, come down to Arizona, do some work before big meets?
Well, it's the first time we take the whole team out before we go at the staging, because I want to do all the basic things, you know, the public speaking classes and the team building activities and so on and so forth, and media training. So we're going to be doing this all this week now, and then relay exchange, do a lot of relay work with our team, and then once we get to the staging, there's a little bit less of that, and there's a little bit more of just finesse and relaxing.
Well, I know one of the big things that you've been working on in the build to the Olympics is to get relays on the podium at World Championships, at the Olympics. Where do you think you are in that stage?
Well, I think our women's relays are very, very competitive. It's a tough world out there for the women's team, because you get the Australians, Americans, the Chinese, and there's a couple more. So I think we're anywhere between 3rd and 5th, or 3rd and 6th. I think the men's team, it all depends on our 3rd and 4th men. We got Brent, who's great. We got Colin Russell, who's really good. So depending on the day, if the 3rd and 4th guy could come up to 48 high, you know, we'd look into finals. What we want to do is get in the finals right now. That's what we're looking for the boys.
Now, you've got people like Brent, and you've got Anna Mae and Victoria Poon, people who have been veterans of the international stage, and you've got a lot of people here making their first big international team. What's it been like to kind of have those two, the veterans and the newcomers, kind of mingle together?
It's actually been the type of meet, or the type of teams we've had the last 3-4 years. Our women's team in 2008 was 100% U team on a national team. So I think the young kids are coming through. The old kids are feeling like they could mentor them a bit. And, you know, and for me, I've been saying all along that the greatness of our team will be the celebration of each other's difference. And so we gotta look for the greatness in all of us, and we gotta look for what everybody brings to the team that's positive. So I think we're gonna have a very good, cohesive team.
What do you think is the best quality in this Canadian swim team right now?
I think the depth in our women's team is very, very good. I think the feeling that we could go there and compete and feel like we belong on the pool deck and belong on the podium, which we certainly didn't have a few years back.
So what do you think on the flip side of that is going to be the biggest challenge leading up to London?
Well, I think we have a lot of young kids that you know, the thing in the Olympic Games, you don't want them on the pool deck and being intimidated by everybody else. So, you know, it's just getting them to feel like they belong on the pool deck, even if you're 16 and 17. And there's no age to win, you know.
Yeah. Do you kind of feel that World Championships would be kind of a rehearsal for them?
Well, that's all. Our whole year this year has been a rehearsal to next year's Olympic trials, Olympic year. So we're going to have a camp here next year at the same time, and so it is very much a rehearsal. The Olympics and the World Championship are almost the same week, so that was the plan for this year.
Well, it looks like, just from what I saw, you guys are looking pretty strong. We're looking forward to see how Canada does. See a lot of the maple leaf flags go up in the award ceremonies.
Well, we're certainly having a fun time. Our coaches are doing a great job, and you know, we have this other thing in Canada called Own the Podium, which is a financial support group and another group called B210, to really take care of the top 8 or 10%, 8 or 10 top 10 in the world. So, you know, we're getting some help, and I think the kids are feeling it.
And I'm sure that probably helps a lot of the older swimmers as they, you know, kind of are developing in their sport and kind of maturing throughout it.
It's very important.
Well, Pierre, thanks so much, and best of luck to you, not just here in Arizona, but in Shanghai.
Very good. Thank you.